Let me ask you something. Why is it that the left can move like a single unified force while the right tears itself apart? Think about it. The Liberal Party of Canada has been one unified party for over 100 years. Meanwhile, the right, we've gone through 6 different versions of a federal conservative party, if you include the PPC. 6. That's not because the left is smarter. It's because, like it or not, they understand that survival depends on sticking together long enough to win. And on the right, we eat our own. In my book, The People's Emergency Plan, I talk about lone wolves. And here's the truth about lone wolves. They're not the romantic survivalists you see in movies. A lone wolf in the wild is an injured, banished, or dying animal. Wolves survive because they travel in packs. They hunt together. They defend each other. They share the load. Humans, we're not much different. In politics, on the right, we act like lone wolves. We split, we bicker, we chase our own little piece of territory, and we wonder why the other side wins. In an emergency, the same thing happens. Families, neighbors, even whole communities fail to coordinate. And the result is the same: loss. Look at the federal gun grab. Who does it target? The law-abiding gun owner. Meanwhile, the criminals still have their weapons. It's the same playbook as Nova Scotia's ridiculous $25,000 fine for being in the woods. They punish responsible people while ignoring the real problem. Whether that's armed criminals or unmanaged forests, it's the same bad thinking over and over again. Control the people who follow the rules. Ignore the ones who don't. Simple. And this is exactly why I say that preparing for emergencies isn't just about floods or fires. It's about preparing for government failures. Because we've all seen what happens when they're in charge. They restrict access instead of fixing the root problems. They take away tools instead of targeting threats. Typical. They leave you to defend yourselves. If you can't rely on them, who can you really rely on? Your pack. Here's the thing. When disaster strikes, a lone wolf approach will fail you. You need coordination. You need clear roles. Someone to handle communications. Someone to secure shelter. Someone to manage supplies. Someone to make decisions under pressure. Without that structure, you're just hoping for the best. And hope is not a plan. In the People's Emergency Plan, I teach you how to build your own pack. We take the same operational planning principles I learned in the military, strip out the jargon, and make them work for families and communities. We use tools like the threat matrix to figure out what you're up against. We develop contingency plans so everyone knows their role. We wargame scenarios so you know exactly how your plan plays out before the crisis hits. Because a pack that's trained together isn't just ready, they're dangerous to anything that threatens them. Let me give you an example. In the military, I've been in situations where success depends on small teams executing a plan under extreme stress. Everyone had their role. Everyone knew the mission. If one person went down, someone else stepped into their position without hesitation. That's a pack. Now, compare that to civilian disasters. Hurricane Katrina, Fort McMurray wildfires, where people waited for help, assumed someone was coming. When help didn't come, panic set in. That's the lone wolf mentality in action. It costs lives. Here's something a lot of people on the right don't want to admit. We are incredibly easy to divide. All it takes is the smallest offense, a personal slight, a disagreement over strategy, a clash of personalities, and boom, we're split into two camps. And we'll spend more energy fighting each other than fighting the people who actually oppose us. And while we're busy tearing strips off of each other, the left just keeps moving forward. It's not because they're better at politics, it's because they know how to hold their nose and work together long enough to win. They've done it in the last 4 federal elections, and they've done it across most provinces. We can't seem to do it. We can't put our petty bullshit aside for the greater good. And I get it. On the right, that phrase terrifies people. We hear greater good and we think socialism, communism, mass control, the death of individual freedom. But here's the problem. That fear has become an excuse to avoid cooperation entirely. We've turned my way or no way into a political religion, and it's killing us. That's not how nature works. In nature, you either cooperate or you perish. There is no, I'll work with you until you hurt my feelings. There's no, I'll only hunt with you if you agree with me 100% of the time. Predators don't pause the hunt because they had an argument over breakfast. If wolves acted like we do on the right, there wouldn't be any wolves left. In the military, no one cares who the soldier next to you voted for. You are a unified team with one mission: survive and accomplish the objective. When you're in combat, there's no space for petty divisions. You trust the person beside you with your life, and they trust you with theirs. That's how you need to treat an emergency. Think of it like war, because it can carry the same life or death consequences. You can't be an army of one and expect to survive. You need a team you can count on, and they need you. Build that team now and let my book be your guide to making it happen. In nature, survival is earned through cooperation. Earlier, I mentioned the PPC, and I'll make you a prediction. Watch the comment section under this very video. I can almost guarantee someone will jump in and completely miss the point, arguing CPC versus PPC because they can't help themselves. It's tribal thinking. It's my team or nothing, and it's exactly the mentality that keeps us losing politically and in life. In nature, survival is earned through cooperation. The pack hunts together, the pack defends its territory together, the pack endures together. We've forgotten that. And until we relearn it, whether we're talking politics or emergency preparedness, we're going to keep losing. The truth is, the threat we face today are bigger than any one of us. Government overreach, natural disasters, economic instability, they are not challenges you can face alone, not if you want to win. That's why your plan isn't just about supplies or gear, it's about people. The right people, the ones who show up, the ones who pull their weight. If you've been feeling that pull, that nagging voice saying, we need to get our act together before it's too late, that's exactly what the People's Emergency Plan is for. It walks you through building a plan that works for your family, your neighborhood, even your political group, if that's what you want. It's step by step, no fluff, and by the time you're finished, you'll have a complete, customized plan in writing, ready to execute. Look, we can't control the incompetence of our government. We really can't. We can't control the storms, the fires, or the economic fallout. but we can control how we prepare when we're faced with them. Stop thinking like a lone wolf. Build your pack. Plan like nobody's coming. The People's Emergency Plan, get it, use it, and start leading when it matters most.